everybody. Welcome to the South City of Light Gallery. I'm Alita, one of your tour guides and co-hosts for the day. Now, let me bring you to the heart of our gallery, none other than this very dashing, very ginormous, standing sleek and tall lighthouse. We chose the lighthouse as an analogy for the cell because we saw similarities between their structure and their functions, emphasizing how both serve as guiding and protective entities in their respective domains. In essence, just as a lighthouse guides and protects ships in the ocean, various organelles within the cell work together to ensure that it works properly, functions properly, protecting and supporting life. Me and my co-hosts would like to take this opportunity to highlight both the cell wall and the plasma membrane in this presentation. To start, let me share with you the wonders of the cell wall. A cell wall is non-living, and it is the outermost covering of a cell, particularly in bacteria and plant cells. It can be tough, rigid, and sometimes flexible. It is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. And it may be a thin or thick structure, multi-layered structure. Using the lighthouse as an analogy for the cell wall focuses on their structural and protective roles, emphasizing how both serve as rigid barriers that provide support and defense. Our explanation will be categorized into 6 sections, starting with structural support. The lighthouse's sturdy construction, often made from strong materials like stone or concrete, ensures that it remains upright and intact against strong conditions like storm, waves, or strong winds. Similarly, the cell wall provides structural support by maintaining its shape and protecting it from mechanical stress or damage. As for the second section, protection, the thick, rigid walls of the lighthouse protects the internal light and the machinery, ensuring that it continues to function regardless of weather conditions. Like so, the cell wall protects the cell by protecting it from external stress, pathogens, or physical damage, serving as first line of defense from environmental threats.
Third section, rigid barrier. The lighthouse serves as a rigid, removable barrier, providing a firm outer layer around the cell membrane. Fourth section is the shape maintenance. Its structure maintains its shape despite external pressure, preventing it from collapsing or bursting under sloping pressure. Fifth section, non-selective barrier. The lighthouse's walls are non-selective, allowing water, gases, and small molecules to pass through freely. Sixth section, support the enclosed structure. The lighthouse supports the external light source, machinery, and sonar by providing a strong foundation and inclusion. In this analogy, the lighthouse represents the cell wall by highlighting the theme of strength, protection, rigidity, and structural support in both lighthouses and cells.
So now let's talk about the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is a semi-permeable, extremely delicate, thin and elastic living membrane. In our analogy, here is the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is made out of 2 layers of lipid molecules in which protein molecules are floating in. This analogy we made is really helpful in serving the plasma membrane's purpose in regulation, protection, and connection. This explanation will be divided into 5 parts.
Starting off with the barrier and protection, a lighthouse stands strong against harsh environmental conditions like wind, storm, and even waves, providing a barrier that protects its light and the equipment inside. Similarly, the plasma membrane acts as the protective barrier that will enclose the cell contents and maintaining the integrity of the cell. Next, selective interaction. A lighthouse selectively interacts by projecting lights and signals in a certain times and a certain direction, designed to be seen by the ships but not necessarily interacting by all aspects of its surroundings. Plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is interactively permeable, allowing molecules like nutrients and ions that enter and exit while blocking others, thus controlling the internal environment of the cell.
Third, communication. It communicates important information like signals and warnings to the ships. Similar how the plasma membrane has receptors that transmit signals to and from the cell. Plasma membrane embedded with receptors and proteins. It facilitates communication by receiving signals to external environment. This analogy compares to a lighthouse and plasma membrane. This lighthouse have unique light patterns to help the ship know where they are. Just like plasma membrane has a unique markers on their surface to know or recognize each others, which is important to things like immune systems and tissue.